I was taking care of that. Sorry for the delay, okay? Bueno, my dear people. So, this week we only have one class, right? And this class, as you can see in the screen, it's about the famous life, right? Before, when we were kids, when I was a kid, the famous people were the celebrities, no? Like the artists, musicians, especially actors, actresses, right? But now it's a little bit different because, of course, nowadays famous people come from different parts. They can be influencers that they just speak in front of a camera. They can be also musicians, actors, actresses. They can be, I don't know, athletes. Now the athletes are very, very famous, right? So we are going to be talking a little bit about the famous life in general nowadays, and also a little bit as how it was before. Okay? Let's start this class, guys, by asking you a very simple question. Well, first, let me just make it a little bit bigger, like this, right? Do you know any of these artists that we have here in this picture? There are a lot of different artists, but do you know any of them?
Creo que ahí está Freddie Mercury. Es que
Yeah,
no sé,
it's right here. Freddie Mercury, it's right here. Good.
es que estoy desde el celular, entonces casi no lo puedo agrandar.
No, my God, it's super small. Let me just make it a little bit bigger, so probably you can watch it a little bit better, right? Ta, 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 ta. A little bit like this. Maybe you can watch it better. Bueno, Freddie Mercury, it's actually there. Hmm?
Elvis Presley también.
Good, Elvis Presley, but Elvis Presley is where is he?
Abajo, abajo. No, al lado, ¿cuál es este?
Ah,
¿El
but
derecho?
this one, of
Next
course.
slide. Yes.
Yeah, of course, I'm sorry, it was super big there in front of my nose. Good. So Elvis Presley, good. Anybody else?
I think that's Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain right here. Yes, in the center of the picture.
También, es que no me acuerdo del nombre. Of
Who?
the Band, el que tiene como tipo, como the face painting.
This one?
Yes, it's part of the a band, but I don't remember how his
He.
name. Ah, yes.
He,
Like I
right?
was waiting for love. Yes.
That's the one. Very good. You know it. Very good. Excellent, right? Hmm? Anybody else? This one it's pretty famous. Doesn't look like here, but he was also
He,
part of a band. Danny.
if I not wrong, I believe that maybe he's John Lennon.
John Lennon, my friend. Very good. Do you like the Beatles?
No, no. Currently, I don't. I believe that I have never heard a song of the Beatles. I
No
would like.
way. Yeah,
I
huh?
would like to do it because I am someone who likes to hear many different kind of music, but I never have been in the work of hearing purposely a song of the Beatles. But I
Okay.
would say that maybe I could try.
I would recommend you too because those are beautiful songs, right? They are not even like that hard. The sound is pretty clean and it's pretty melodic, so it's really good, right? Okay, guys. So here we have also a lot of different polemical artists, polemical rock stars. Though that here it's the where the term rock star come from. Ready? A rock star, it's kind of these people. They were, of course, part of the rock and roll genre, right? And we have, like, for example, Ozzy Osbourne, who recently just played his last concert. The Ramones, David Bowie, a lot of different kind of artists. No, here we have Axl Rose, the Sex Pistols. Well, all different kinds of bands, right? And there it comes, or it created a term that was the rock star. Yeah, the rock star was the typical member of a rock band, and they used to have a polemical behavior, right? They used to do different kind of things that were polemical and were very frowned upon in that moment. Do you know what is the meaning of the expression frown upon?
Fuera de lugar.
Almost from upon, it's like como mal visto. Como fuera de lugar, yes, como algo que that no encaja, doesn't fit, right? So in that case, guys, these people, these characters, they were famous, but they were famous probably not for the best reasons, right? Well, so now we're going to have here two questions more that I would like just for my own curiosity. But what kind of music do you like the most? Of course, probably you don't like rock and roll so much, but what kind of music do you like the most currently?
In my case, is pop and a little of rock.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, Amy, very good. So pop and rock, great.
Honestly, I have a very diverse taste of music. For example, my playlist in Spotify is like 16 and 28 minutes long, and it's full of so many artists. But I would say it's full of new metal and K-pop, I think.
Okay, no way, seriously? Good. What when you mean new metal, what kind of bands are those?
For example, Linkin Park and this type of a mix between metal and popular songs.
Kind of rap, metal rap.
Yes, yes, yes.
Great, very good. So you like kind of a Slipknot, Limp Bizkit of kind of those, right?
Uh-huh, yes, you're right.
Great, excellent. And K-pop, that is a good contrast. Very good.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. And Danny, what about you, May?
As Paula said, well, I don't have uh, an specifically favorite genre of music, but I would say that in the last time I had liked liked a lot the Russian post-punk music. I it's
Russian post-punk?
it's I don't remember exactly well the name, but it's post-punk Domer music, if I'm not wrong.
Okay. Yeah, I have never listened about it. I sounds interesting actually, right? Okay, Danny, good. Here, guys, we have two different words which are they have the same meaning in Spanish, but they are not exactly the same. Gender, which you know it makes reference to male, female, no binary, and all of those stuff, right? It's more related to the physiological part of the body. And genre, which the pronunciation is a little bit different as Daniel did it, genre, yes. It's more related to different types of music or movies or all those things, right? So when I say music genre, it's rock, pop, nu metal, so on and so on, right? Good. Okay, guys. And now I have a second question. This question is a little bit more, it's different, right? So it says, what other kinds of music do you listen and under what conditions? Of course, we probably like one kind of music, but usually the people listens to other different kinds of music in different situations. For example, I don't like so much to listen to salsa and merengue in my normal time. But when I go to party with my family or with my wife, I like to listen to merengue a lot. So merengue it's not my favorite genre of music, but when I go to party or when I go to dance with her, I like to listen a lot, right? Or for example, I don't like vallenato per se, but when I am with my brothers who like vallenato, I listen vallenato too because they like it and I am fine with it, right? So what about you guys? What other kinds of music do you listen and under what conditions?
In my case, I would say that maybe mm, I usually don't listen a lot rock. I like the rock, but it's not my favorite genre. Um, but I would say that, for example, while working out, I like listening rock, and even if I don't really carry myself into hear music at the gym, they put the music there, and I like to hear it while, for example, I am doing I don't know push-ups, bench press, that kind of exercises.
Does it make you feel energized, like more powerful, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. I feel kind of motivated. Something.
Motivated. Excellent, Danny. Thank you so much. That's what I wanted to know. In the gym, that's another part where you listen music that probably it's not yours, right? Okay, ladies, what about you, dears?
For me, what I listen a lot of types of music too,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe like vallenato because Milpa listen a lot of vallenato.
Uh-huh.
So when he is in the house, we listen vallenato. Or for my mom listen like Vicente Fernandez, that type of music.
Mm-hmm.
So I listen that too when my mom puts the music in the house when she's cleaning the house. Or I listen reggaeton too, but I don't like too much. So when I went with my friends, we listen reggaeton.
Exactly. That's typical, no? The friends and the family, they modify our taste in music. Good, very good. So you are a little bit of everything, like really crossover, right?
Yes, teacher. Like we say, my partner Paula, I have a lot of music in my Spotify.
Hmm.
I like for me it's not too much, but I think it is like 900 songs in my Spotify.
My God, 900 songs is too much. No, of course that it's. I mean, Paula has a lot, like a lot more, but 900 it's also a lot. Okay, great. And my dear Paula, what do you think?
To be honest, I'm not a big fan of Spanish songs, to be honest. I prefer to listen to maybe Korean or English songs.
Mm-hmm.
It's more comfortable for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say I like few and selected songs by Cerati. So I would listen him under conditions, certain conditions.
Like for example, if you are sad or stressed or something like that.
Maybe, but I would say the style of the song,
Uh-huh.
if match with me, I would listen the song.
Okay, okay, okay. Very good, right? There, in this case, this word it's a little bit strange because they have a lot of syllables, but not all the syllables are pronounced. So this one is going to be comfortable, omitting the OR. So it's written, but it's not pronounced. So the pronunciation will be comfortable.
Okay, got it.
Great, excellent. Okay, guys, very good. So, well, in this case, we have mentioned like all different kinds of music, right? And the idea of this week, it was talking about like those things that happened before in a famous person's life and those things that happen now, right? More related to the kind of musician's life, right? But it can be applied to any kind of person, right? For example, as I said before, in the famous life before, they had different types of behaviors. Do you remember what's the meaning of the word behavior?
Como comportamientos.
Yeah, exactly. So these people, the all rock star figure, yes, they used to do different things. So when we want to describe habits in past, we use used to, right? Of course, after to, the next verb is in infinitive. So, for example, they used to drink a lot. They used to smoke a lot. They used to, I don't know, they used to, I don't know, they sometimes they used to do drugs also. It has to be done. It has to be said, sorry. So they didn't used to post their lives in the social media because we didn't have social media, right? So they didn't used to be so polemical for the things on social media, but for the paparazzis itself, right? So, and we can also use would, okay, for describing past habits. Now, what's the difference between using used to and would? Used to, it can be used with all the verbs. Hmm? Action verbs and stative verbs. But would is going to be used especially with the action verbs. We have two different kinds of verbs. Well, we have different types of verbs, but in this case, we have action verbs, which are the verbs that require movement. Like, for example, play the violin, play the saxophone, talk on the phone because they require an action. All the others are going to be the stative verbs. Stative verbs are verbs which refer to an state. They don't necessarily require movement, they don't require you to do anything. Verbs, for example, like. When I say I like, no, say I like the beer, I don't have to do anything, I don't have to move, and I am doing the action. It's more like an state. I don't know if I'm being clear, but these two different types of verbs, they are like classified into they require movement or not. More the cognitive actions, like for example, think, or like for example, know, they are actions that don't require uh, a real movement. Yes, so they are stative verbs. Now, when I use would for describing past habits, it's more commonly used with the action verbs, while used to with both action verbs or stative verbs. It doesn't matter. Okay, so for example, guys, before the rock stars, they would, sorry, they would party after every concert. It was very typical that they would party after every concert, right? And also they used to, well, normally the rock stars in the past, they used to play different instruments, no? For example, I don't know, let's say Freddie Mercury, he didn't play itself in the band, but he knew how to play the guitar, and I think the piano was the other aspect, the other instrument, right? So they used to play a lot of different instruments. Yes, they would. Oh my God, I don't like to say this, but they would drink a lot always before the concerts for the anxiety. They would, no, they used to calm down with a liquid, right? Which is of course bad, but they used to do it, and it was incorrect, right? So they would drink a lot always before concerts, which is why some of them had problems on stage because before the concert they will drink a lot. So that's why they used to have a lot of problems on stage. Yes. So guys, in that case, we can use would and used to in order to describe past habits. Yeah. What do you, I know that all of you are very young, yes, but how do you remember that part of your life before it? Yes. What were the habits that you had before in the past? Do you remember what would you do after school, for example? Yes. What would you do on in classes during school, right? Or what would you do with your friends before? Do you remember?
I remember that in my last year of school, I used to buy as that was when I was getting out of my where the classes had finished. No, so I remember that basically my routine was buying a sandwich, going to the house, eating the sandwich, then after eating the sandwich, going to the gym, come back, studying, and basically that was the routine that I made during my last year of school.
Great. Okay. So, for example, Danny, you could express all of that, well, many of those expressions, but using this one, for example, go to the gym require uh, physical movement. So you could say, for example, teacher, I remember that always after homework, I would go to the gym every afternoon, or I would go to the gym every afternoon after doing homework. Yes. Or, for example, I would buy always a sandwich after school classes. Also, the same with used to. With used to, that's another possibility, right? Very good. Very good. What about you girls? What do you remember about that?
In my case, the last year of high school, uh, um, with my friends. we buy in the bakery like a pan galleta. No sé si se traduzca. Bueno,
Mm. Pan galleta is the one that is very big and it has like a crust. Como una, yes, how do you say that? Como una costrica that it's
sí,
delicious, you know?
como de cookie, como de galleta.
Yeah.
And it has like, no sé cómo se diga, arequipe.
No, arequipe is, like dulce leche arequipe. It's the
Yes,
same.
they have arequipe or the cheese.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
after that, we finish. Like the bakery is, it's very close to the school. We we go to the bakery, or in front of the school. It was a very tiny shop, and the owner of the shop, it's called Doña Pati.
Uh-huh.
So always we, bueno, como íbamos, we will, we used to go.
Alternative? We would go or we used to go. Both are fine.
Okay. We used to go with her and talk a lot.
Oh, really? With the
Yes,
owner of the shop?
yes, it's very like very nice person.
Great, excellent, very good. Uh-huh. Good. My dear, I mean, pronunciation of this word, bakery. Bakery, right?
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Excellent, very good. Okay, so well, all of them the same. So you could say, for example, teacher, we always after the school we used to buy pan galleta, and the same we would go to talk to Doña Pati and so on. So muy bien, Emi. Thank you so much. What about you, Paul? Doesn't have to be necessarily on the last year of school. Can be before that.
I remember I would play Fortnite and Minecraft with my cousin in his PS4 all day after school. So, but regarding to my school years, I remember I was a like boring girl. I used to leave school and just go straight home. So I don't remember something like an adventure or something like that about my school years.
Okay, no problem. Very good. Excellent. Guys, I have a question for you. Who was your, if you had one, who was your like famous celebrity idol of that time? For example, for me, when I was a child, I used to try to follow because I didn't have Instagram at that time, but I used to try to follow all soccer players live, like in the news broadcast, Caracol and those things. I used to learn or I used to get informed about my favorite footballers or football players, such as, I don't know, Ronaldinho, I would say in that moment, or well, all players, no? So that were very, very old. So, but they were like my celebrities, my idols. What about you in your cases? Who was that person that you said, like, oh my God, I want to be like that celebrity?
Maybe for me, but I'm not really sure, but it could be like a Zendaya because for the she was a star Disney.
Ah, Zendaya, yeah, yeah, of
Like
course.
yes, like Dove Cameron, or there are a lot, or Demi Lovato, but in specific, maybe Zendaya
Okay,
because
okay.
she she did she do well,
She used to do.
uh, she used to do a lot of things like she's model or acting. She is singer, so it could
Exactly.
be Zendaya.
Very good. Look, Paola actually too, no? She says, I'll be too. Yes, like, but who was the second person? Dove Cameron? Who's that?
Yes, I don't know. It's like they're star Disney, so she played like a role, a series called Live Imali, or
I
more
remember.
recent movie of Disney is Descendants.
Okay, now that one I don't remember, but the first one I remember that I have listened it.
And
Yes.
another movie of her is Cloud Nine.
Oh my God. Well,
Yes,
anyway, that.
yes.
Okay, very good. Great. Thank you, Amy. Very good. Paul, what about you? A part of Zendaya, any person that you used to admire?
Yes, I used to admire a lot Ariana Grande was my favorite singer that time,
Hmm.
and I think she's still my favorite singer. And regarding to video games, I used to play a lot of video games. my favorite streamer was Fernanfloo.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Great, great, great. For example, that's different because in the old times, there didn't used to be any streamers, no? Like there used to be like some famous players, but they would go to international championships and then you knew about them. But there didn't used to be like any kind of streaming services. It didn't exist Switch or anything like that. So you couldn't really interact. You didn't used to interact with your streamers or your favorite celebrities. Okay, very good. And Daniel, my friend.
I remember that in some way I liked a lot Michael Jackson. I really don't know exactly why because I mean I had heard some songs of him, but it not was something like, for example, something like if I was a great fan of a big fan of
Mhm.
him. But I don't know, I just like it, the vibe that he gives me.
Okay, great, excellent. Well, and actually, I think that Michael Jackson died a long time ago. Probably when he was alive, you were a really young kid, no? Wasn't you?
I believe that maybe he died in 2008, if I'm not
Something like
wrong.
that. Yes, I think so.
If that's correct, then he would die the same day, the same year that I born.
Oh my God, imagine that thing. Maybe that's why you have a connection with him, no? That sometimes that can happen. Okay, very good. Thank you, Danny. So, as I said, guys, before life used to be very different. Famous people used to be very different before, and they used to behave a lot different. Now, for example, yes, of course, we have seen many things of our celebrities nowadays, but it's not like they would party every day as before. It's not like they would drink so much as before. Some of them, no? But now the problems are different. For example, well, we have not seen the celebrities nowadays drunk, but more like depressed, for example, right? And sometimes when they go depressed, they go into alcoholic, but it's not always the same. Nowadays, the customs or the habits are different, and when we describe the habits in past, we use would or used, right? But there is another possibility, which is using will for describing the habits in the present. Will, and of course, complemented with adverbs like the adverbs of time or the adverbs of frequency, such as all the time, always, or every day. Yeah. For example, I don't know, before it was not very common that the people used to wear oversized clothes. It was more common to use tiny, tight, skinny clothes, right? But now celebrities, celebrities will wear a oversized all the time. Yeah. I am using will not because it's in the future, but because it's another way to express a habit in the present. And but remember that it has to be complemented with this kind of adverbs of time. All the time, always, every day. Yeah, for example, I could also say celebrities will always wear oversized clothes. That's another possibility to say it, right? What other things do you see or do you consider that it's very typical or that are habitual or like common in in the celebrities nowadays? What do you consider that it's like behaviors which are typical on them?
I believe that maybe the celebrities will always been doing charity works or something like that.
Wait, Danny, they will always be doing what? Sorry, again?
Charity works.
Ah, yeah. They will be, sorry, doing charity. Good, that's true. And well, It's always the same, sometimes because they really care about it, sometimes because it reduces the taxes that they have to pay, but that is why they will always be doing charity because, yeah, it helps them also the same, right? Okay, Danny, thank you so much. What about you, dear ladies?
Um, Celebrities will eh, make like content como for social media every day.
Good. Yeah. It's kind of a requirement to be like viral, to stay viral, no? So they will always be doing, or they will always do content or live content every day for staying viral and like trendy on social media. Muy bien, Amy. Thank you so much. And Paul, what do you think?
I don't know, maybe celebrities will always do something controversial to get on the spotlight, I think.
Yeah, true. Oh, that I like that word. Spotlight. Yeah. Good. The spotlight, of course, it's like the attention of all the entertainment world, right? So very good. So they will always do something polemical to get the attention or the spotlight, as you said, right? Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but they always want they will always want the spotlight over them. Yes, very good, right? Of course, as I said, it's not only applicable to the famous life, but I can also use these kind of expressions for talking about what people do nowadays. Yes, before it was not accustomed to exercise so much. Before it was a more like a trend to, to like dance and party, and the people used to spend all their weekends drinking and maybe traveling with friends, but not exercising. Now people will people will mind their mind. When I say mind, I mean like care about, yes. So people will mind their bodies or their health all time, all the time. Yeah, now it's more trendy to be not obsessed, but careful, no? So to be careful with our bodies, with our health, with our shape. So that's why I said that people will mind their health all the time. Yeah. Now also it's common that people will have their cell phones all the time. Yeah, people will always be with their cell phones in their hands. Yeah. Sometimes also, yeah, it's common that sometimes some people will go to drink every weekend. Some people, less people, but some people still. Yes. Or for example, the culture of camping. Yeah. Some groups of friends will always be camping near to the city. Yeah. So it's not only applicable for the famous people, but it's also applicable for common lives. And it's just talking about habits for the present, something that the people will always be doing or will always do. Okay? Guys, questions about these two topics: will, would, habits in the past, habits in the present?
No, sir.
Oh, oh,
It's
good.
clear.
Very good. Excellent. So, finally, today, talking about this famous life and music part, yeah, we have one thing which is really useful, and it's the double comparative. Yeah, the double comparative is an expression in which we demonstrate that something is directly proportional or inversely proportional, right? I can use it with more and more, which in both cases I said something causes the increment of another thing, or inversely proportional when I say more less. When I say that more of one thing causes less of the other. Yes, so there is two different types of relationships, but there we are going to have always two different sentences. It can be with adjectives or it can be with verbs. Yeah. For example, I can say that the more you study, the more you learn. I use more and an action. Yes. In Spanish, it would be translated something like entre más right? For example, here, the more you study, the more you learn. Oh, the more I see her, the more I like her. Yes. So it's like The more you do this action, the more this action happens. The more we work, the more we earn, right? Okay, it's a possibility. And it's describing a relationship which is directly proportional. Both things that cause increment. Yep. Separated with a comma in the middle. And usually with the article the. Yes, in both cases, the and the. Okay. For example, guys, the more water I drink, completed,
The more healthy I am.
could be the more healthy, bueno, the healthier in that case, or the more healthy, both are possible, I am or I feel, ¿cierto? Okay, could be. Any other complement for that sentence? The more water I drink? No, no more. I would say, for example, the more water I drink, the more I pee, for example, right? Which is normal, right? An action and an action. Yes, directly proportional. Paul, tell me.
Mr. Question.
Mhm.
You could say the more water I drink, the more hydrated I feel or I get.
Both, but I feel it would be better. When I say I get hydrated, it's like the action, como hidratarse. Ready? When I say the more hydrated I feel, es o sea, hidratado, más hidratado me siento. Ready? Entonces, en ese caso, para ese caso particular, sería mejor usar the more hydrated I feel. It's not like, bueno, sí, entre más agua más me hidrato, sí, también está bien. No, both are fine. Forget what I said. Both are good. Just that I feel, I think it's better the more hydrated I feel. Okay? Got it. Listo. The other possibility is that we can have inversely proportional relationship, which is more of one action causes less of the other. It's exactly the same structure, just that in that case is going to cause the like a decrease on the second action. For example, the more I read, the less I remember. One thing causes less of the other. Yeah. The more he explains, the less I understand. The more I worry, the less I sleep. Yeah. Or let's say, for example, the more I don't know, the more coffee, no, the more the more, I don't know. Ah, okay, I got it. The more vallenato I listen, the more vallenato I listen to, the less I like it. It's an example. I actually like vallenato, but it's an example. The less I like it. So it's like, no, I cannot stand vallenato. So the more I listen to it, the less I like it, right? So it's a inversely proportional relationship. But in both cases, or in both words, we are using verbs, actions, right? So study, see, work, earn, like, learn, remember, understand, sleep, worry, explain, read. It's all with actions, right? The more the less. But it's also a possibility that we can use adjectives or adverbs. Yeah. Like in this case, for example, the older we grow, yes, we use other verbs, but the verb is not the focus of the comparison. It's going to be the adjective. The wiser we become. Yeah. Or the higher you climb, the colder it gets. Yes, I have other action, but the focus of the comparison, it's going to be the adjective right there. Okay. The younger you begin to learn a language, the easier it is. The angrier the teacher is, the worse I feel. Yeah. I don't know, the other one. The richer a person is, the more privilege they enjoy. In this case, for example, we are already combining an adjective, which is rich, and the comparative richer, with privilege, which is a noun, and then with a more. Yeah. So I can also combine like the verbs with the adjectives. For example, I don't know, the better the band, the better the band, the more I listen to it, the more I like it. Yes, here we are using an adverb, but in the second one we are using the more and the on the action like in the first part. And it's possible to combine. Ready? You just have to know that there are many different ways to do it. Verb with verb, verb with adjective, adjective with verb, verb with adverb. There are going to be different ways to do it. Okay? How do you feel, guys, about it? Questions, problems, or difficulties of that?
Oh,
No, it's a simple thing.
It's a simple thing. True. Right. Okay. Very good. So we're going to have here easy exercise. Wait. Yep. Okay. Here I'm going to give you some couples of verb and or words. Yes. Sometimes it's adjective, sometimes it's verb. I would like you to create a double comparative with whatever that you want. Just one. Choose the one that you want. For example, the first one it says, the more techno I listen to, I miss here listen to, the more I like it. It's a possibility. I use listen and I use like it. But for example, I could have used the more techno I listen, the less I like it. Probably I don't like it, so I could use the other possibility. Ready? Choose one of the other exercises, bueno, couples, and create the double comparative with that. Ready? Doesn't matter if you choose the same because probably you're going to have a different opinion about it. So it's not a problem if you find the same couple different too, right? So go ahead, tell me.
Maybe the more I hear her voice, the more I feel in love.
Good. Great, excellent. So the more I hear her voice, wait, sorry, her voice, the more in love I feel. Perfect, very good. What else?
and the more I practice a choreo, the more dancer. ¿Se puede con dancer o toca con dance?
No, good. I mean, with dance, any form, yes.
Ah, okay. The more I practice a choreo, the more, ¿qué? Ahí espera. The more,
Momento. The more I practice a choreography, yes,
yes.
the more
Eh, mm, I, pe- se me-
I don't know. Tell
¿Ahí me
me.
escuchas?
Yes, yes.
Ah, the more I practice a choreo, the more, oh no, the better, se puede, yes, the better dancer I become.
Ah, good. That's very good. So the better dancer I become. Very good, right? So in that case, you're using here more and practice verb. Here, you didn't use the verb. Okay, no problem, but you use the noun, dancer. Great, excellent. That's great. And Paul, finally, what about you?
The sooner I study, the earlier I can play video games, maybe.
Okay, the sooner I study, the sooner I will play or I can play video games. Right, excellent. That's great. But nowadays, what video games are you playing? Are you still playing Minecraft and Fortnite?
Oh no, that's in the past.
Hmm.
My old days. No, I would say sometimes I play Roblox, but it's
Okay,
not a big thing.
okay, okay. But that what is the where is that? Like on the cell phone or
No, in my computer.
on the computer? Okay, thanks. Okay, great, great. Excellent, guys. So this kind of expressions, the double comparatives help me to relate to different tastes. For example, the feeling that I have when I listen to her voice, that causes one reaction. Or, for example, what causes the constant practice? An improvement in my qualities, right? Or what causes the productivity on my day? A different change in my schedule, right? So that's why when we use this kind of comparative, we are relating to different aspects. One characteristic, one action, two actions, depending. Probably both are increasing. Probably one is increasing, the other decreasing, but it's going to be related to different actions or qualities over the ready. So here in the infographic of the week, I left some expressions, right? I would like you again sorry, to choose one and complete it. Not all of them are going to be about double comparative. Some of them are about habits in the past, others are about habits in the present, and others are double comparatives, but about famous people or about music. Again, choose one and complete it as you prefer. That is the last activity of today. Is our production. So just finish it and let me know when you are done.
I have one to share.
Mhm, mhm.
The more famous people feel, the more disconnected they become.
Of the reality?
Yes.
Yes, totally true. The more disconnected they become or they get, muy bien, very good. The more disconnected of the reality they become. Perfecto, I mean, thank you so much. Great.
I believe that my phrase would be, in the back days, celebrities would always die by overdose.
Hmm. So celebrities will always die by overdoses. True. Due to all the excess of different things. Thank you, Daniel. Very good. And Paul, finally.
Mine was like the same as Emily. The more famous people feel, the more full of themselves they are.
Good, very good. The more full of themselves, that's what happened, right? Excellent, guys. Very good. So, well, I'm really glad to see that, well, first, that you have understood all the topics of today, which were three double comparatives, will and would as habits. But also, I'm really glad to see that, guys, you are really realistic and really connected to your reality. And despite the fact that you enjoy following some people, influencers, streamers, or whatever, you have very clear what reality it's about, and the famous life it's just like a mask up, right? So good. Excellent, guys. I really like that because it shows that you are really critical people, and that's what I like. Guys, thank you for being here with me tonight. Remember that this is the week number 4 of advance, so it means that we only have 4 weeks more of class. Ready? We're going to have week 5, 6, 7, 8, and probably 2 or 3 days more to complete the final checkpoints and everything. So you can complete everything before August the 24th. Ready? So that's going to be our deadline. So please try to finish everything before that day. And that's it. Thank you for being here. We're going to be watching, of course, for the next 4 weeks. But if you have questions or problems with your activities, do not hesitate to tell me, right? Because it's the last part, the last season of your course, and it's really important that you do not stop and do not interrupt the process for anything in the world. Okay? Guys, thank you for being here. Have a wonderful night and sleep tight.
Bye. Thanks,
Bye,
Emily.
Thank you
teacher.
so much.
See you.